welcome back into the kitchen. And with me today is the lovely Sally.
Welcome.
Hello, Sally.
Thank you very much.
Back to dinner party inspiration. We're all getting back together again. And it's lovely to have those little tricks up your sleeve where the guests are just about to arrive and you know that they are going to be very impressed with what you put out, okay? Now, I know you entertain a lot.
Yes.
Because I'm your neighbour.
That's right, yes.
And just some little ideas just for your next dinner party.
Perfect.
And things that are going to be nice and easy. Now, the worst thing when your guests are arriving, and I was talking to Ben earlier, is when your guests are just about to arrive and you've done something that is way past your skill level, and now you're stressed and you're crying and you're drinking excessively. Has that ever happened to you? So I always say to people, do not do souffles and that kind of thing for starters. It's too much pressure.
Absolutely.
We are just going to take the easy way out, and none of your guests have to know that your secret is, you know, little quick and easy little tricks like I'm going to show you today. Now, of course, I always use beautiful quality ingredients so that I don't have to work very hard. So that's what it's all about. So cheers. We'll drink to that. Cheers.
Absolutely.
And of course, we need to drink on the job.
Of course we do.
All right,
it's
so
very
cheers.
important.
So what I'm going to show you is little cheese platters or feasting tables or grazing tables. Now, of course, you know, there's a variety of different starters that we could do, but a carpaccio is fantastic. Now, of course, we're going to do a cheese carpaccio. You know, I've got a beautiful recipe for a proper beef one, but we get beautiful prosciutto, parma ham, jamon at the deli, okay? And they do all the work for us. So we can just take all the credit. So I went down to my local and I said to them, you know, it depends on how many people you're having. I like to allow about 2 or 3 slices per person. And as you can see, she's done a fantastic job of slicing it nice and thin. So beautiful prosciutto. Now, of course, you get different qualities, you get different ages, so just get the one that you like and that you think your guests will enjoy. Right? And you can tell them the history. I always like to tell my guests if it's a certain age or from a certain region, because then they are dazzled and amazed and they think you've really made an effort, which we want them to think.
And it smells amazing too.
Yes, and this is our cheese carpaccio. So what we're going to do is, this is really easy. We're going to lay some of that on the plate, but it's adding the little trinkets. Now, I always say that cooking is like dressing up, okay? So we need to have the good basics, like a good basic dress, but then it's adding earrings, you know, a little bit of lip gloss.
Yes.
And this is like cooking. This is how I think of plating. So we are going to plate with our beautiful prosciutto. I'm going to show you 2 options. So either for a dinner party, you might be having your guests seated, and then you'd like to present them with a little starter plate each. Yes. Or you might just want the big communal platter. Sure. And everyone just tucks in. So I'll show you both ways. So first of all, for the prosciutto, now most people would have one of these guys lying around, okay? So if you have a herb that has died, it's a good way to just throw all that soil out, pop this, clean it. Must be clean. Yes. Right, take the soil out. And this is just a little terracotta pot from your local hardware. So you will find something in your cupboard that might be suitable, but generally those are really easy to get. Now, I call this a prosciutto high heel. It's one of my signature dishes because I'm lazy, but I still want recognition. I still want people to whip out their phones and start Instagramming my food, okay? I actually fully expect it when people come over, because it's all to me about presentation. So what we're going to do here is just start by layering, and we're going to leave the fat to the outside because it just looks more dramatic and more elegant and more expensive. And if you can see there, it is totally self-adhesive. You do not have to stick these on.
No glue involved.
No glue involved. And they just literally stick on like that. So the nice thing about this is that if you were one of those home chefs or home cooks, that when your guests arrived, you were hysterical and, you know, there were often floods of tears. Yes. You can do this in advance. Yes. So you could put it in the fridge even 2 days before, cling wrap it, or I've got an alternative to plastic wrap. I use a little corn flour wrap, which you can get at your local supermarkets. But you could even take this down to a picnic. Imagine whipping that out of your esky. Yes. Perfect, that's it. Now, if you have vegan or vegetarian guests, of course we couldn't give them the prosciutto, but we could do zucchini. All right, so I call it zebra striped zucchini, is when we're going to griddle down the zucchini, and I'm going to show you that as well, because we often do have opportunities to serve our vegan or vegetarian guests something a bit more than a steamed bowl of vegetables.
Exactly.
Okay, so we want them to also feel included, and also visually, that lovely green right next to this one would look very dramatic, and would look like we had really planned it. So, what do you think of this so far?
It looks incredible.
I know,
I'm so impressed. I would never have thought of that, to be honest.
Now, it's because I'm lazy, and when we're plating, we want the height.
Yes.
So, you know, if you and I were both entertaining and you just served flat prosciutto.
Yes, which I tend to do.
Yes, I hate to say, mine would probably get more photos because I went for the drama.
Yes, yeah, it's that 3D effect, isn't it?
Yes,
that
yes.
really makes a difference.
And then we can make a little rose. So here, just for the top, I'm just going to, you see, I just folded that in half.
I'd love to see how you do this. Yeah.
This is very, very easy. All I'm doing, and you want to make one?
I can give it a go,
Yeah,
for
give
sure.
it a go. And all I'm doing is just wrapping it around itself. No one has to know that it's that easy. And of course, you wouldn't tell them unless you like them. You could tell them. If you like your guests, tell them all your secrets.
So what do I do? Literally just...
So take him, you can leave him whole, but you can also fold him in half like that.
Okay.
And now just wrap him around himself. There.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Right, that makes
sense. So like I said, can be done in advance. Put it in the fridge and whip it out, and everyone will be very, very happy. That is better than mine.
No, it's not. Yours is better.
That's perfect.
But, you know, it's the first attempt. That's
Perfect.
okay.
It's perfect. So very dramatic. And of course, we could put figs. Beautiful figs.
Oh yes.
You could put a fig on each side. I actually forgot to buy them. But then you know that would really be nice on there. Of course, if you forgot the figs, we can always get these lovely. I've got you just remarked on how beautiful my edible.
I did. It's looking spectacular.
You see, I'm lucky because I have a whole edible garden outside, and
but it just brings it to life.
It does,
too, doesn't it?
What it does is, and if you don't have your own vertical garden with edible herbs or whatever, it's often good to take the dog for a walk and see what the neighbours have. Ring the doorbell, make sure it's organic. All right, so there is our fully portable
Look at that.
prosciutto high heel. Okay, so look, we're still happy, and we could even drink on the job. Look, one hand
For sure,
with a
let's
drink,
do that.
There
Absolutely.
We go.
Cheers
I'll drink to
again.
that. Cheers.
Yeah, nice job.
All right, so that's part A of our little thing, and we could just stop there because I think that, you know, our guests would be most impressed. But like I said, I did promise you that if you were going to serve this as a seated starter, then we need to cater for that. Now, if you can just, if you have a look, if you grab us one of these little black plates under there. First of all is pears. Now, pears are glorious. Pears go really well. Yes, that's perfect. Pears go really well with our salty prosciutto. And you could just serve a beautiful piece of sliced pear. But again, we want our guests to feel intimidated by our culinary prowess. And of course, if you need to pimp up a pear and make it sound more expensive and more elegant, well, we're going to roast our pear.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I actually have done is I did, with my little trusty assistant there, my air fryer, I actually did throw a few slices in there earlier to test it out, and they came out beautifully. So I just put them on the roast function. It took about 8 minutes. They flew around. There was much drama, and they came out really well. But it can only do a few slices at a time. Now, I always recommend taking the label off before you slice your pear, all right? Otherwise, people are going to know where you got it from. And what we're going to do is just slice down, and I'm going to get a nice sharp knife. And of course, you can use a mandolin if you have one and get some slices. Even the side of your grater will generally be able to do that for you. And we are going to slice right through there. So one pear can actually probably go across 4 plates. So this is a very economical dish. Your guests don't have to know that you went cheap on them. But
sometimes less is more.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you can see I'm not worrying about those little pips in there, the seeds, And of course, if it goes red, stop cutting immediately.
Okay,
That's always my advice to you. And also, I know that you're terribly impressed and you're thinking to yourself how chefy I look. Because first of all, my knife is sharp. If you do this with a blunt knife, you will not be as happy as me. Also, my board is not moving.
No, that's right.
Yes, so what I did was, and you saw me snuck this in, is a wet cloth.
Okay.
It is very traumatic, and you will hate cooking if your board moves. These are simple things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've not been watching you through your windows.
No, but you know that's what happens to my board.
Most people will go, oh, I hate cooking, and it's because their little board is moving. And of course you're going to hate cooking because it's stressful. All right, so
It's very
All right,
effective.
so there we go, nice and thin. Now, of course, I'm going to put them onto this lovely tray that I have ready here.
Yes.
And isn't that glorious?
Absolutely stunning. Yeah.
We could serve it like this, but you can do this prep in advance, okay? And we need to make our pear a little bit more sexy than it already was.
Sure.
Okay, so sexy pears, here we come. So I've got that pear drizzled there. I am going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over there. And I haven't really sprayed the tray.
No.
If you want to pimp it up further, I can put some black peppercorns on there.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
a black pepper roast
So I would never
pear.
have thought of putting pepper on pear.
Well, you see, I've got a little plan because I'm a forward thinker, a forward planner. I'm going to be serving with this with a goat's cheese. So I thought goat's cheese, pear and black pepper would sound very expensive.
Yes.
Okay. So you can brush it through, but literally I'm going to just pop that in the oven. Now, if you put that in an oven of 180, it would literally take half an hour. So I have cranked things up. I've got the oven on swear word hot.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going 230, or if your oven can even do 250, because then we've got more time for fun and happiness.
Sure.
Okay. So let me just pop that in the oven.
Yes, absolutely.
So those pears are in the oven. Okay, now you know, like they say in the movies, here's some I made earlier.
Yes.
So if you pass
Here's
those
some you
over,
made earlier.
I've already got some. Now, when I've said I'm going to use goat's cheese, you might have some guests that just don't like goat's cheese, or you might not like goat's cheese. So you could use something like Danish feta or even cream cheese. Now, I have got a bit of cream cheese and a bit of the ash goat's cheese.
Oh, beautiful.
Which I love those two. But I actually literally went in the fridge and I only had a little bit of goat's cheese. So I sort of just pimped it up with a little bit of the cream cheese. I always have cream cheese.
Yeah, great.
Okay?
So it's fine to mix them up. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you
And
want that creamy texture.
Yes, you could even put a stinky blue cheese through here.
Sure.
And then invite me over because I
Okay,
love stinky
done.
blue cheese.
Yeah.
Also, we can then put in a little bit of, to match what we've got on the pears, is some of that lovely cracked pepper. And then I've said in my little recipe, you could use some of the prosciutto chopped up and hidden into here. So if you grab 2 little slices out of there, I shall get my kitchen scissors and we shall snip it into there. And you can literally put in bacon bits or anything that you want. So you can literally clean out the fridge.
Isn't that great?
Yes, so I'm just going to snip this in there.
Sure.
And I'll just do one because
one will be enough.
Yeah, so you can see how lazy I am. I've got a knife and everything ready
great.
there. But you know,
why
the
not?
scissors are efficient because I'm just about to use them for something else. So
great.
if you smush that through, smushing is a culinary term.
Love smushing.
Yes, smushing. Now what we're going to do here is, when we're looking at that, to serve that, you're probably stressing, you're going, how on earth, Mel, am I going to get away with serving that? How am I going to make that look more expensive? Now, I have just the solution.
Great.
As always. So what I went into the garden this morning was I went and got some edible petals. I've got marigolds here. Very overpowering. So I've actually got some of the snapdragons as well. And I grow these very successfully, and if I can grow them, anyone can grow them. And that is just for the absolutely beautiful colour.
They're a gorgeous colour.
They are gorgeous. And I'm just using the coloured bits. Don't use that green back. It's like the back of a strawberry. I throw it away. Okay. So I've also got some fennel. Now, fennel is fantastic. I actually had a fennel bulb, which I chopped up in my ultimate broccoli salad, which was another episode I did. And so I had those little fronds left over. And the fronds look very glamorous with what I'm about to do. Okay. So
How's
that
my
is
smushing going?
That is
Does it
the
look
best
all right,
smushing I have ever seen. Well done. You have passed your smushing test. If you want to get us just, I'll just get us 2 teaspoons.
Yes.
Because now I promised you that I would make those look more expensive.
That's
so
right.
What we're going to do is we're building this plate up. Is if we get our lovely prosciutto, and like I said, it's either this style, and when they walk in, it's all on a platter, or you can actually do a plated portion for them. All right, and not everyone loves that fat, but to be honest, that's the best part. That's the best part. But if they don't like it, take it off, or they can just leave it behind. That's right. Whatever they want. It's their party. So with the pears, and like I said, we've got some in there. Here's some I made earlier. And what we've got is, look how beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I'm actually drooling because I haven't had lunch, okay? And these look $10 more expensive than just a slice of fresh fruit. So we now have sexy fruit. So that was in our oven, and that literally took just about 8 minutes. Of course, if there's smoke coming out of the oven, take them out before that. And what we've done here is not only have we created a beautiful bit of sexy fruit, but we have improved the flavor of this pear, because by roasting it or dehydrating it, you're concentrating the flavor.
Sure.
You're changing the texture, and your guests will be very impressed, and they'll be jealous of your skills.
Yes,
this
great.
is what we want.
Excellent.
So you can see there the browning. The browning is going to bring out that sweetness. Okay, it's going to be delicious. I know I get far too excited.
And it looks gorgeous too.
Well, thank you, thank you. So we've got your smushed, your goat cheese, your cream cheese, and of course that sneaky little bit of prosciutto, and I'll put a little bit of black pepper in there. And now we need to create. Now, how does that look?
Looks amazing.
It's going to look better.
But it's going to look better when it's in there.
Because
that's right.
that might be a bit stressful just to dollop it on there. So what I do is I just take that, and it's actually quite a dry, it's not too wet.
I noticed actually when I was smushing it.
Yeah. So
that's right.
that's exactly what we
Yeah,
want. Now, of
great.
course,
So you
your hands should be squeaky clean.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is, if you want to also
Sure.
roll a little ball there.
I can give it a go. I'm
Can
not
you
sure that it's
see,
finished
can you
now.
remember I did the petals and the fennel fronds?
Yes.
Okay. So I planned the whole thing. Now, what we're going to do, and you might want to get in closer here, is I'm going to take the ball, which has potential, all right? Yeah. I wouldn't mind just throwing it on there, but if I do this, now that, let's take, it's a bit
hairy?
Yeah, it's a bit hairy. Look at that.
That looks incredible, doesn't it?
Now, not only does it look incredible, and thanks for saying that, okay, but it's going to eat incredible. So we've got all that lovely fresh fennel on the outside.
Sure.
It's literally going to blow their hair back.
Yes.
This
So
is
this
what we
becomes
want.
the base in a way.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you could also put that on a steak or a chicken breast, or if you're doing a roast butternut or pumpkin, you could throw one of those little, you see, like I said to you, it's like putting earrings on.
That's right.
All right, now, so earrings go on there. So if you
There's
do two
another
more,
ball.
throw them in there. You
give it a
have
go.
a little
Just
swirl.
give it a go.
Just so everyone can see how easy it is.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
right. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
There
That's
we
the
go.
point.
You see, that's what I want. You see, I've got time for a sip of mine.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Look
So
at
we'll
that.
do one more.
That will do.
Now, in my little
Those
recipe
look
book, and
gorgeous.
I said let's do a honeyed verjus dressing. So 80 mils of verjus, 20 mils of honey, and then I have used a lovely seeded mustard. Now, if you can see there's the mustard. I've got the honey and the verjus in there. I'm just going to stir them together, and that's going to be a lovely little dressing. But there are other things that we can use on there as well. So we could just use a balsamic vinegar and an extra virgin olive oil, okay? Like I said, if you were doing it for your vegan or vegetarian guests, I'm just about to show you how to do these little zucchini bits, but they are going to actually look good on here as well. So this could all be done in advance, all right? But we're just literally building our little plate here. Now, I've also got some dairy cream here. So you can just put that little ball on there.
You go.
And what I'm going to do here, that looks amazing. You see, I would pay money for that. I would absolutely pay money.
Sorry, my
And
balls
no, it's all
That's
good.
all right, doesn't
I've
matter.
got some mustard in there and just some cream. Do you want to wipe your little hands on there? All right. And what I'm doing is just making a little chefy swirl of cream. Now, I do this quite often. I pimp up my cream with whatever is going to match the dish that I'm using it for. So if I was doing this for a lovely rare roast beef or something, I might do dairy cream and some wasabi or horseradish with peppercorns.
Lovely.
If I was doing it for fish, I would do dairy cream. I might do lemon zest and dill fronds and black pepper. And that would go well with crab or anything like that. So I use this little idea to death. I literally do it for everything. And everyone thinks I'm so chefy. But it's just that I know how to mix and match.
Yes,
I love knowing how to mix and match. So just putting some of that, and look how that mustard has made our cream look more expensive.
It does.
Yes, all right,
Such
so
a
this is going to be
vibrant
good.
colour.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put it in a spoon and everyone can do that. And then without even looking, you see I'm not even looking?
But look at that, it's a work of art.
Yes, but
It's a work
that's
of art.
layering it. So
So
it's it's just making that little bit of effort. And that's like putting lip gloss on.
Yes.
Earrings,
For sure,
lip gloss.
that's right. Just
That's
the
how
small
I think
touches,
of dressing a plate. I always think about, let's start off with the good basics. But then that wasn't difficult. But our guests will be really impressed with that. Now, just quickly, I did promise you I would show you how to do the zucchini. And I don't want you to think that it was terribly difficult. I've got my little frying pan here. And I've got the one with the griddles in. Now, when you're about to throw something in a pan and you want to get those dramatic stripes, you cannot throw it in a cold pan. All right? It'll be very stressful for you when you're sitting there waiting for the stripes to happen, and they're just not going to happen. Sure. We want swear word hot. And you can see that I can fake talk until the pan is hot enough. And luckily this thing really does, we're going to crank it right up. Now, with our griddle pan, you don't have to, but I give it a little bit of a spray. And if you used extra virgin olive oil here, it would smoke and burn in 5 seconds.
Yes.
Set off the smoke alarm and everyone would talk about you. Okay? We need a workhorse oil. So this is just a cheap, crappy canola, vegetable, or like a rice bran, something that can take the heat.
Yes.
And then when you are confident that that pan is nearly hot, and you can see how quick this is, all right?
Yes.
So literally, if I didn't talk so much, this whole thing you could throw together in the 8 minutes that it took your pears to roast. So while the pears are in there roasting, you could do your little balls, you could have your plates, and they could actually go in the fridge ready to come out. Or I would make my guests plate their own.
Well,
should we check on those other pears?
Let's do that.
Okay, let me get them out. So Sally, those are our beautiful roast pears. Now I've got stainless steel fingers, but can you see that lovely color that we got there? And that was really quick.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we've already got ours. Let's finish this bad boy off. So you can see there that the pan is nice and smoking hot. I've got Exhibit A, a zucchini. Now this could be eggplant, it could be anything. Just with your potato peeler or your veggie peeler, just nice little strips. Look how easy that is.
Yes.
And when you get through to the middle, you're going to hit the seeds. I just flip this guy over and do the other side. But can you see one zucchini? We're going to get enough. That was actually one zucchini there. So it's very economical. And generally, you probably have a random little zucchini in there. When I put this in, I want a dramatic sizzle.
Okay.
I want to hear like a swear word hot sizzle. Okay, because then we know that's the sound of success. Okay. And I do the same for steak.
Sure.
Chicken breast, veggies. If I put it in there and it's quiet, I always say it's like a relationship. If they're not talking to you, there's something wrong. Okay. And it's probably your fault as well.
That's right, of course.
In it goes, sorry. Relationship advice as well. That's right. But if there's a sizzle, it's generally good.
Yes, it's good. That's it.
Okay. So with these, to be honest, you only have to do the one side because it is so nice and thin that it won't really take too long. Let's have a quick clean up, because we've already done that, and I want you to taste that.
I'd love to.
Now, while we're at it, and I've shown you how to do this prosciutto high heel.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you ever served crackers before, and you went to the cupboard, you got the crackers, but someone had opened them and they had gone stale?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Not good.
Not good.
No.
All right, because you generally throw them away.
Yes.
While that oven is on, if you have crackers that have gone slightly stale, you can, I call it fake fresh.
I know where you're going. This is a great idea.
We're going to put it back on the tray. You're going to put it in the oven for 2 or 3 minutes, and you're going to get on with your life. You've just saved yourself some money.
There you go.
Okay, I'll pop those in. We've had a little bit of a tidy up, so cheers to that.
Cheers again.
All right,
that's
so
right.
I'm going to make you taste, if that's okay.
Love to.
And you can see here with these zucchinis, they've literally just cooked through, okay? And yes, that's hot, but look at that. It's perfect.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so that is done. So we've sort of worked around that, but you could literally do this fresh to the plate. Should we try that?
Absolutely.
I made this just for you.
Thank you.
So guys, enjoy. Please try this. This is going to become one of your absolutely go-tos.
Yeah.
So either the feasting table version or plated. They'll think you very chefy indeed.
Thank you so much.
Let's try it.
Let's do it.